Hey guys, Catastor here, bringing you guys weekly deck profile number 7. This deck is my Plants on Steroids version 2, or better known as my Gigavise deck. This deck has really changed a lot since my first post back in March. The deck can perform the OTK a lot faster, quicker than my initial build, and has a little bit more synergy to it. So I'll be showing the main deck as well as the extra deck. So let's get started. You play 3 copies of Gigaplant. This is your main facilitator for the OTK. It helps you get off synchro spammage and it can establish field presence. So it's an overall good card in my opinion. 2 copies of Blazewing Butterfly. These two work together in the sense that you can establish a synchro monster on the field. If you have the butterfly on the field and you get off its effect, you get the Gigaplant special summon from your graveyard with its effect, so you can go for synchro plays or bring out Tytannial if you have to. 2 copies of Lonefire Blossom. You play the big 5. When I refer to the big 5, I mean 2 Lonefire, Bulb, Spore, and Dandy. Those are all essential for this deck. But more times than not, you're going to use Lonefire to get your Gigaplant or your Tytannial. So you mainly want to go for that so you can set up for OTKs. 2 copies of Koa'ki Gravirose. It's a 1900 beat stick. That's a plant, which is good because you need fodder for Miracle. During your standby, you can dump a level 3 or lower monster, which can set up plays with Lonefire. You'd be surprised. A lot of people are willing to kill this if they know what you're playing. So I think it's a good card. 2 copy of Black Dragon. I mainly use this card to go Black Rose or Ancient Fairy. I don't like going Bulb and Gigaplant for Black Rose, only because I want to use that to go off as frequently as I can. 1 Tytannial. It's a 2800 wall. That's all I really think of her, and her effect is pretty good if you have multiple plants on the field. 1 copy of Marshmallon. I opted to play Marshmallon over Spirit Reaper, even though this card's at 1 and Reaper's at 2. I only found myself playing 1 Reaper anyway. Marshmallon doesn't have that nasty side effect, but if Spirit Reaper's targeted, it'll die. So, and then the extra burn damage is always nice. I did say we played the big 5, so here are the other 3. The Spore and Glow Up allow for power tool plays, which is vital for this deck to succeed. And then the last tuner is Naturia Cosmobeet. I was playing Nettles before, like during testing. I was testing between this and Nettles. This is slightly better because if your opponent just sets a monster, you can special summon this card when they set, and then tribute for Gigaplant, and if you have Supervise, you can go off from there. And this allows for Brutdrago plays, which I think is a very good card. So that's it for monsters. On to spells now. Your main equipped card of choice, 3 Supervise. This turns your Gigaplant into an effect monster, and then allows you to, like I said, synchro spam. You play Power Tool Dragon, which is one of the key cards in this deck, next to Gigaplant and this card. 3 copies of Miracle Fertilizer. It's a good control card, like if you want to steal your opponent's monsters to synchro with, or if they have a big like Stardust Scrap Dragon, then you want to take that. It doesn't work against Thought Ruler, sadly, so I mean it's a good card. 3 copies of Upstart Goblin. You could play Pot of Duality, but the thing with Duality is this deck is a special summon deck. You want to, once you have the key components of this deck, you want to go off as soon as possible, so you don't want the restriction of Duality to hinder you. So Upstart, it works. I don't like the 1000 life points, but it's either that or Duality, so I prefer the Upstarts. 2 copies of Hidden Armory. I wasn't playing this card in my previous build because I didn't like the you can't normal summon or set, but this card gets your Supervise out a lot quicker, and you need Supervise for this deck to succeed. 2 copies of Miracle Fertilizer. This is a very good card. It goes well with Hidden Armory because you can't normal summon or set, so you can just play both of these too. If you have Lonefire in grave and Supervise in hand, you can say hello to massive synchros. I was thinking of taking this up to 3 even, but I don't know. 2 works just fine for me. 2 Thundering Tornado to eliminate back row. Back row can pose a threat for this deck. You do play 1 Future Fusion. You played the Gemini Fusion, this guy here. So it just thins out your deck. This is what I usually use it to thin the deck out by 2. So just get the key components. Foolish Burial for the Spore, Dandy, or Glow Up. Or I've used Foolish for Lonefire too, because I had Fertilizer in hand, so it has some versatility. One copy of Scary Face to scare away all the back row. One copy of Monster Reborn, and then one black hull with a white circle in the middle. And that's it for spells. On to traps, you play 3 Royal Decree and 1 Solemn Judgment. I opted out of playing the Solemn Brigade because you want to go off as frequently as possible. Decree allows you to do that without worrying about traps. I've had a lot of success with Decree. If I had Decree, I would have the hand. The only thing that would ruin the hand would be Veiler, but depends on the deck you're playing. Some decks run 1, and they'll just side in the other ones. So yeah, and I like the Solemn Judgment in this deck. If you don't have Decree, they don't expect the Solemn, so it's good to stop their key plays and stuff. So yeah, that's the main deck. Onto the extra board. Raptinus, your fusion target. 1 Formula Synchron. You can make Formula. I don't make it as frequently as I like, but so just the 1 copy in case you need it. Ally Cat, Brio, very good synchros, obviously. 2 copies of Power Tool Dragon. This is your MVP of the deck. It makes the deck work because it can search out all your equipped cards. If you search out Supervise, you can just keep going off with massive synchro plays, and then you play another synchro that works really well with it. So yeah, definitely a very good card if you're playing any equipped deck. 2 copies of Black Brutdrago, mainly used with the debris play, more or less. Ancient Fairy Dragon, the 3000 defense is nice. Stardust Dragon. 2 copies of Black Brutdrago. If you get him out, he's usually like an indestructible card. If you know what I mean by indestructible, if he's sent to the grave, you get a Gemini monster with its effect, so you can just make another one in retrospect. It does have to be sent to the grave, so that's kind of a drawback. 1 Thought Ruler Archfiend, 1 copy of Scrap Dragon, and then 1 copy of Lifestream Dragon. This card is very huge, and people have a lot of trouble getting over it because you can just remove from play and equip to keep it alive, so it's very good. It's a trolling dragon. So that's it. That's the deck. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this deck. Any comments, suggestions, criticism, leave it in comments down below. I'll post a deck list too down below, so look out for that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this deck profile. Rate, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and until next time, guys, peace out.